Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my final video in my Project Pan series for 2020. I wanted to give you guys one final update and let you know how my Project Pan went this year. So it was my goal to use up or hit pan on 20 different products for 2020, and I did a rolling Project Pan. So as I used products up or hit pan on them, I added new ones in. I actually don't even know if I hit my final goal because I didn't count before I sat down to film this update. So I guess we'll find out together. And I really like doing a Project Pan. I definitely want to do one for 2021. I haven't actually decided what I'm going to do yet, but once I figure it out, I'll definitely film a video and keep you guys posted. It's a great way to focus on shopping your stash and using makeup up instead of constantly buying new makeup. There's nothing wrong with buying new makeup, and I love trying new products, but I also think it's important to keep my collection in check. This really just keeps things in perspective and reminds me how long it takes to actually go through products. I know a lot of you guys have told me that you are on a no buy for 2021, and if you're looking for some different ways to shop your stash, enjoy your current collection, I have an entire video dedicated to that, so I'll link it below if you guys want some tips and tricks. But let's jump into it, and I'll kind of give you a recap of my Project Pan for the last year. So as a reminder, by the time I did my 3-month update, I had used up 3 products, including the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, which I do love. I also used up the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist, and then I used up one brow pencil, the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. By the time we were halfway through the year, I did use up 3 more products, including the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD Setting Powder, and then 2 more brow pencils, the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil, and then also the CoverGirl Brow Pencil. I made a lot more progress by the time I did my last update for you guys, which was back in September. So I did use up the Physicians Formula eyeliner, which took me forever to get through. This is like a never-ending eyeliner. And then I also used up the Bite Beauty Agave Plus lip balm, which I do love. But whenever I use up a lip balm, I typically move on to another one because I just get like sick of the scent by the time it's gone. So right now I'm using one from Milani, which I do love, but I really enjoyed this. And then I also used up the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores pressed powder, which I missed because I really liked this product. But I did make a really good dent in my powder collection this year, which was my goal because I had so many powders that were open. I had also hit pan on 3 products, so I think that I've made even more progress on these. The first one is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Powder. I'm not currently using this one just because it is slightly too dark for me when I do like quick everyday makeup. So I'll continue to use this one once spring and summer roll back around, but I've used up a good amount of this, and I'm really excited about that because, again, like I said, I have quite a few open powders, so I've just been trying to make a dent in my powder collection and not buy as many and just use what I have. I also hit pan on my very first highlighter. I've never hit pan on a highlighter, and I feel like I've been able to use up a good amount of this over the past few months as well. This is the Becca highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. I don't know if I'll ever be able to hit pan on a highlighter again because it took me almost 9 months of consistent use to finally hit pan on this. And before that, I had used this powder fairly regularly for a few years. Because of this highlighter, I don't think that I purchased one highlighter in 2020. Well, I did purchase the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Blush, which is kind of like a blush highlighter, but this has really put into perspective how long it takes to use up highlighter, and I'm so glad that I put this in my Project Pan. I almost didn't just because I didn't think I would ever hit pan on it, but this was such a good reminder that I do not need to purchase multiple full-sized highlighters that look very, very similar. I think heading into 2021, if I do purchase a new highlighter, it's going to be something that I don't have, like maybe a pink highlighter. I've kind of been thinking about buying a purple highlighter, but as far as gold highlighters go, I'm definitely set, and I've just enjoyed using this. Like, this is truly a product that I love to use, so I'll continue to use it even after this Project Pan is over. I had also hit pan on this bronzer by the time I did my last update, so this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. I actually haven't used this one very much over the past few months. I think I was just getting a little bit sick of it because I had used it so consistently during like the first half of 2020. I definitely still like the formula. It's very smooth, very blendable, but I've just kind of put this one away for the time being, but I'm still glad that I was able to hit pan on it, and it's something that I will keep in my collection because I do enjoy it. Okay, so let me share my progress since then. I have used up a bunch of other products. I did finally finish the Catrice Prime and Fine Keep Me Matte Primer. I love this primer. It's been like my #1 favorite for such a long time. It does a great job at leaving your skin smooth, and it does mattify the skin, but not as intensely as other mattifying primers I've tried, like the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist or the Farsali primer. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like this, because if I'm dealing with any sort of texture or dryness, I don't always want a super mattifying oil controlling primer, and this one does a good job at keeping my skin slightly matte, but it also makes my skin look so smooth. So I am sad that I used it up, but I feel like it's good because, again, I have a couple of open primers I just need to make my way through before I purchase new ones. I also used up the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I really like this foundation. It's a little bit dark for me during the winter time, so I'm glad that I used it up when I did because I won't be reaching for it over the next few months. But this is such a nice formula. It's a very lightweight, smoothing, mattifying foundation. I almost said primer. If you're looking for a mattifying foundation, but a lot of them are too full coverage, too intense, too heavy, try this one. This one does have really good coverage, but it's not heavy on the skin. It almost feels like a serum primer, but it does cover redness, blemishes, and it stays in place really well. And it just looks very smooth on the skin. So I love this product, especially combined with this primer. If you deal with a lot of texture, this will be such a nice option for you because these two work together to keep your skin looking so smooth. And it does stay in place and cover any sort of unevenness or blemishes that you want to cover. I also used up the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This didn't take me long at all. I think that I opened it back in the spring or maybe the summer, and I just fell in love with the texture, the formula. It looks so smooth under the eyes. It is more of a full coverage concealer, but it doesn't look heavy. It gives my under eyes like a very smooth appearance, and that's important to me because I do have a lot of under eye wrinkles. So I really enjoy this. I think I might repurchase it, but before I do, I'm going to try to focus on using up maybe one more. I also used up the Hourglass Arch Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel, and I did find a good drugstore alternative for this, so I won't be repurchasing it. I did really enjoy this, but the brush is a little bit big. So while I really enjoyed the actual texture and performance of the formula, I felt like the brush wasn't something I loved to use every single time I did my brows. So I am glad that I found a more affordable alternative, and I also like the brush a little bit better. Okay, so where am I at? That brings me up to 16 products. Okay, I think I might have done it, or I might have just missed it. I have a few more products to share with you. So I did use up the Urban Decay Stay Naked The Fix Powder Foundation. Or no, I didn't use it up completely, but I hit pan on it. I have the smallest little like teeny tiny pan on this product, but I will use this up completely because I have discovered a newfound love for powder foundation. It is so weird because when I put this product in my project pan, I did so because I didn't love the powder. I liked it enough to keep using it, otherwise I would have decluttered it, but I wasn't using it as a powder foundation. I was using it as a setting powder on top of concealer if I wasn't wearing like a liquid foundation, and sometimes I would wear it on top of a liquid foundation, and the reason why I didn't like it is because it looked dry on my skin, it looked kind of heavy, and I think that's because it's a powder foundation. It's not really meant to be worn on top of another foundation. But since my makeup routine has changed a little bit this year, and there are days where I'll just skip foundation, and there are some days where I'll just go in with this product, it's perfect. I like this so much because I deal with a lot of redness. So when I take a shower, my face is typically red for a few hours. And if I'm going out and I'm wearing a mask, which is every time I go out, I don't really always like to take the time to apply liquid foundation because it just gets all over the mask. But sometimes I still want to cover a little bit of the redness on my forehead, maybe like on my cheeks. And this product works so well to cancel out redness and keep my skin matte throughout the day. It's honestly been such a nice option and I have been loving it. And now I want to try out more powder foundations. Okay, so that is 17 and I basically used this product up. I think it might have like one more week left. It is the e.l.f. Wow Brow and I have the shade Dark Brown. This is the brow gel alternative that I found to the Hourglass Brow Gel. The formulas are very, very similar. The textures are really similar. They both have fibers, so they make your brows look a little bit more voluminous. But like I said, I like this brush better just because my brows are very, very sparse. So sometimes with the Hourglass brush, I just kind of hit my skin where I don't have any brow hair, and then I feel like it gets a little bit messy. This one is just a little bit more precise, easier to control. Like I said, I could probably use this for like another week or two, but it is getting very, very dry because it's pretty much been the only thing I've been using since I used up the Hourglass one. So I think I'm going to count this as used. Like I said, I'll continue to use it up completely, but that brings me to 18. Okay, I don't think I'm going to make it. I think that I got very close to 20, but again, I think I have like one more week out of this product. So I'm going to count this one as well. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. I think when I first started using this at the beginning of the year, I had at least half of the product left, and I didn't use it at all during the spring and the summer, and really the fall, but I've been using it a lot during the winter. I definitely don't deal with like severe dryness, but sometimes around my nose, I deal with a little bit of dryness and also on my chin. So typically I'll take a little bit of this and go in and apply it before I go in with foundation. And again, I have a really small amount of this product left. What's nice about this product is that it doesn't require a lot. Like you could use a very small amount and you don't have to use a ton, so a little bit goes a long way, which I think is why it's taking me so long to use it up completely, but I'm almost done with it. I'm so proud of the progress that I've made. So even if I count this and say that I've used up or hit pan on pretty much 19 products, I still have 2 left. Actually 3. So I did not use up the e.l.f. Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is such a large amount of this primer, at least for me. When I use this, I use a small amount, like a pea-sized amount, because a little bit goes a long way. So when I use this, I just use the smallest amount. So because of that, like even 1 fluid ounce is a lot of product. I wish they sold this as a mini, and maybe they do at this point, but I do like this primer. I just feel like I will never get through it because I don't use it as a primer all over my face. Typically, I'll use it around my nose or like this area as well because that's where I deal with really large, obvious pores. So I use this like little by little, but I still haven't used up really a lot of it. I feel like I still have at least half of this product left. And it's funny because this was actually in my project pan for 2019 as well. So this product is getting a little bit older. It still works perfectly fine. So I am going to keep it in my collection, but I just didn't make my way through this. I also did not use up the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. I did use up a good amount of it, but I didn't finish it completely because I just don't really like this formula. This is an example of a product that I don't really love that I did put in my project pan instead of decluttering because I felt like I could make it work for me if I mixed it with other concealers. But when it comes down to it, I have a lot of concealers that I love to use on their own. So I wouldn't typically pull this one in just because I didn't really love using it. I more so like using this as like a spot concealer rather than under the eyes because it is pretty full coverage. It does a good job at, covering over blemishes or breakouts. But even when I use it for that purpose, I just need such a small amount. So I didn't make my way through this product. And I think at this point, I will declutter it. I've had it for a while. It's not something that I love, and I wasn't able to use it up completely this year. The last product that was in my project pan is actually the Mini Cover FX Setting Powder, and I can't find it anywhere. In fact, I don't think I've touched that in the past few months. I must have misplaced it when I did my last project pan update. I'm always moving like makeup around in this room, which is why I feel like I say I lose products all the time. It's not even messy in here, so it has to be somewhere. I need to go through my entire makeup collection and just kind of like reorganize and clean for the new year. But I don't think I've used that at all over the past few months. So I know that I did not use it up, which means that I really only used up or hit pan or almost finished 19 products. So I did not hit 20, but that's okay. I've used up other products in my collection and I'm really proud of myself for that because I think in 2020, I cut way back on purchasing new makeup, and part of that is because I'm not wearing makeup as much as I used to. When I'm home, I don't always wear makeup, and when I leave the house, I don't always wear makeup, and I do sometimes because I love makeup, but I just didn't feel the need to run out and buy such an overwhelmingly large amount of makeup this year. And honestly, I'm excited about that because I was able to save money, enjoy products that I already own, and just focus on my current collection, and that feels really good. Now in 2021, I think that I will be buying more makeup because it is one of my goals to actually review more products on my channel so I can let you guys know if I think it's worth spending your money on. But at the same time, I don't want to use that as an excuse to go overboard and buy a ton of makeup. So that is pretty much the end of my project pan. So I almost used up 19 products or hit pan on them, and I feel really good about that. What I'm thinking for 2021 is that I might focus on products that are harder to use up and include less products in my project pan. Like maybe focus specifically on like 5 or 10 products that take a little bit longer and a little bit more effort. I don't think I'll do an eyeshadow palette, but maybe I'll do some sort of eyeshadow product. Maybe like a single shadow or like a few shades from an eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep you guys posted and I'll make sure to do a Project Pan intro video once I decide. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along on my Project Pan for 2020. Let me know how yours went. If you guys have any tips or tricks for using up makeup, let us know in the comment section below. But I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.